This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one-hour podcast, interviewing people from all walks of life, having fun, encouraging, uplifting conversations with great music as well. Kick back and relax. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one-hour podcast.
This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one-hour podcast. Interviewing musicians, comedians, sports personalities, and many, many others sharing their story. Who's encouraged them, who's inspired them. Kick back and relax for a great time together to share rocking music as well. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one-hour podcast, but it's always about encouraging others. Hello, and welcome to Chit Chat, the encouraging one-hour podcast, encouraging people from all over the world, reaching out to people from all over the world, and some musicians, comedians, some folks are inspirational speakers, and some people are inspiring their towns, communities. It's a great place to share some encouragement, inspiration. I truly believe each and every one of us have a story. I'm always sharing those stories with you, as well as great music by artists from all over the world. Not just 15, 20-second songs, full songs here on the podcast. I believe it is one of the most unique podcasts out there. What was a coffee shop idea I brought to a podcast format, and we are being heard over 30 countries, 40 plus states. So thank you for joining. Hope you're able to subscribe and follow the podcast and listen to us wherever you're at. In traffic, running kids to errands, busy schedules, we're always here for you. Brand new shows every Wednesday. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one-on-one podcast. What's always about encouraging others. This is Made in America by the Night Owl Country Band.
These parts are made in America.
My green John Deere, my black Ford truck, my cold Bud Light. Spinning John Deere Friday till in the land, driving my truck as much as I can, pumping the top on a Bud Light can. Made in America, the red, white, and blue. I stand for her honor, the flag and our troops. I'm proud of my country, what she's done for me. We're made in America, land of the free. My redneck, my white picket fence, my blue collared shirt. I work 8 hours every day. Working hard is the American way. Brings food to our table, I'm proud to say. Made in America, the red, white, and blue. I stand for her honor, the flag and our troops. I'm proud of my country, what she's done for me. We're made in America, land of the free. stars and stripes, and football, y'all, NASCAR racing and grain, alcohol, Garth Brooks blaring on the radio, headed to an Opry show. Made in America, the red, white, and blue. I stand for her honor, the flag and our troops. I'm proud of my country, what she's done for me. We're made in America, land of the free.
There we go.
How's life?
Just living the dream, making some dinner. The dogs may bark, so I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting dinner.
Oh no, not at all.
Or you're down south, right? It'd be supper, right?
It is, yes.
Born and raised in Arkansas, so yeah, it's dinner up here in Washington State. So yeah, I miss supper.
Oh my gosh. So I'm born and raised Minneapolis, Minnesota, and it's dinner.
Ah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Sarah Ashley to the Chit Chat Encouraging One Other podcast. I reach out to musicians from all over the world, and I came across her, and I'm excited to hear about her story a little bit and her music. But before we dive into some fun conversations, I love to throw some icebreaker questions at my guests, kind of catch them off guard a little bit. So I hope you got your thinking cap on.
I don't know if I do, but let's try.
If you had your very own TV show, the Sarah Ashley Talk Show, you could invite any three people on, your first three guests, who would they be and why?
So Amy Jo, because she's my sister, and we are a hoot together. Celine Dion, because I want to know about her struggles and trials and everything in music.
Mm-hmm.
And my third. I think probably my high school teacher in music.
Ooh.
And yes, so I too. Mr. Lyons and Miss Sir, and I want to know what they saw in their children back in the day and where they are now.
Oh yeah. I think my music teacher, one of my music teachers, passed away a long time ago, but I still have great memories of choir and performances, and oh my goodness, good times in choir. And I did madrigals for a while. That was always fun.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Number two, what is your biggest fear? Heights, snakes, spiders, all the above, or other stuff?
The first note I sing on stage.
Singing on stage?
The first note I sing on stage.
Ah.
So it's like the getting the nerves out, and then I don't know, I'm in it and it's amazing. But besides that, spiders. They're terrible. They're terrible. And they all need to die, and they are creepy, and they crawl on you, and we eat so many in a year. It's terrible.
Yeah. little mice give me the heebie-jeebies, and yeah, I'm with you there.
I get that. Oh, but they have cute little hands.
Yeah, they're quick though. You can't catch them too fast.
That is true.
My wife will wake me up in the middle of the night with the one on the ceiling. She said, "Honey, spider." I'm like, "It's 20 feet in the air."
Yeah, but it could fall in your mouth, and then you eat it, and it's terrible.
You got problems there.
I agree.
3, what is the most spontaneous thing you've ever done? And share a little details about that.
Oh, wow. So actually this past weekend, I actually lied to my whole family, except for my brother and my mom knew. I flew up to Minneapolis, Minnesota to surprise my dad for his 75th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
They want to keep it a secret? No one knew?
No one knew.
Nice. I
Yeah,
want
it
to
was great.
I went to our parents one day. They were in Arkansas. I want to fly down one day and surprise. But I forget the grandkids and the great grandkids, and I would get where's everybody else?
Exactly. And then it's like, okay, I'm sorry, it's just me,
Yeah,
right?
what's a surprise for you? Number 4. What is something you're very good at and something you're not so good at?
So I feel like I'm very good at like analytical thinking, so I can see things from different perspectives. I'm not good at reading and spelling.
Yeah, I'm not a big reader. My wife loves reading. I'm a visual guy. Give me a movie or TV, I get soaked up in
Exactly. I mean, I love an audiobook, don't get me wrong. Like when I'm out walking the dog or, running or whatever, that's great. But yeah, no. Sitting
What is
down and reading, no.
what is your go-to meal? Either breakfast, lunch, or supper. Anytime you can, any time of the week, twice a week, whatever. What's your good go-to meal you like?
I think when I am busy, it's mac and cheese for sure. When I can cook myself, I love to make on the go lasagna. So I will take the leftover cottage cheese, I will have the pasta and the noodles, and because I tend to do both. So, like, some of the pastas over here, extra noodles over there, um, meat and whatever's left over, and I like mix it all together, and I have a walking lasagna.
Don't they call it goulash? We're pretty close to it.
So no, goulash is different. That's mac and
Oh,
cheese.
okay.
So you can't do that in a walking lasagna. Well, actually, let me not lie to you. I've never tried it. I might have to.
So the big question is macaroni and cheese. How do you make yours? Is it a box? Is it homemade? What craft?
So I do boxed mac and cheese, the cheapest one you can get, and then I actually put in additional stuff. So instead of using milk, I actually use half and half. I use Kraft single slices. I use um, cream cheese sometimes. It really depends.
Whatever cheese you can find.
Pretty much.
That sounds
Pretty
good. I'm
much.
getting hungry for
I
dinner
know,
time
right?
for me.
So I'm sorry. What about you? Like, you're asking me so much stuff. Like, I need to know yours too.
I'm pizza. Pizza anytime, any breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, midnight snack. I can do pizza. I like popcorn. I'm getting older, it gets like my teeth, but usually
Yeah,
it's
same.
pizza as my go-to.
So do you do a different pizza depending on the time of day?
That's usually
Like, do
I
you
like
put egg? Do you put egg on your pizza?
no. I was in the
So you
Navy.
don't do
I
breakfast
avoid
pizza.
a lot of egg stuff. I like my wife maybe some omelet, a really thin omelet. Uh,
Okay.
Navy kind of roomy of eggs. They're watery half the time. I was like, ugh. I'm not a big
Oh
egg
yeah. See, I
guy.
can, no, it has to be dry.
Boxed
Dry
egg.
eggs. Ugh.
Uh,
Okay.
and last question is tour guide hat time. Where you living now? You're in like Nashville, I believe, correct?
I am. Yep.
So I've been to Knoxville, Tennessee, not Nashville, long time
Okay.
ago. If I was to come down for a little trip, 3 places that you would recommend seeing, and 1 place you recommend going out to eat.
So, are you going to be a tourist or do you want to come and do what locals do?
We'll do what locals do. We'll try that. How about that?
Okay. So, locals, I would take you over to Five Points, which is over in East Nashville. Um, any bar over there is amazing. Uh, for food over there, ooh, that's a hard one. I would take you to Far East for some pho. So great Vietnamese food. If that's what you like. I would also bring you over to West End. I would bring you to Winners and Losers, the bar.
Mm.
Over there for food, what would I do? There's so much over there.
Is there a good barbecue joint down there?
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean, everywhere. Like one's 5 minutes away. But it's what type? Do you want Texas barbecue? Do you want um Southern, I guess it is, when it's wet, with the barbecue sauce, or do you
I'm in
want just
I'm in Washington. We really have barbecue. I got a few barbecue places here. They're okay, but Southern barbecue is the best, and I miss getting your fingers all messy. Dive into a barbecue pork sandwich, coleslaw, all the fixins.
So what is that though? Is it wet or dry? Because for me, like when I think Texas barbecue, it's like the dry rub.
Mm.
When I think Southern barbecue, I think the wet, you have this barbecue sauce on it, or this one like honey or spicy or a mixture, right? Like what is barbecue to you?
Um, any barbecue's barbecue. I'll probably put a lot of people down. Barbecue's barbecue. I don't get it much up here, so anything I can get, it's barbecue. Barbecue wings, barbecue chicken. If it's ribs falling off the bone, I'm good with
Oh,
that.
God. But wet or dry?
Probably wet.
Yeah, me too. So good.
And now that concludes our food program.
Right. Thank you for tuning into the Food Network.
Would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself? I know some folks might not know who you
Sure.
are, and while you're doing that, slide in your favorite dessert as well, since we got to finish it off with a dessert.
For dessert. Okay. So, first off, my name is Sarah Ashley. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a singer songwriter. I do modern country rock. I write from all personal experiences. I write with myself and other people within the United States and overseas. So, I write with a lot of people, everything from country to rap to Christian to poems. It doesn't matter. As long as you are expressing yourself, I will help you experience your dream.
Mm.
And then my favorite dessert, that was very high level too. So if you have more questions, I'll let you give that out. So my favorite dessert is cherry pie. I'm not a
Oh,
sweets person. I am more salty, so I love chips. If you would ask that, I would list off like every chip because I love them all.
yeah, I'm a chip connoisseur too. I like different kinds of chips. Actually, I bought a bag of pork rinds last week, and my wife family's like, "Oh no, pass." I'm like, "These are so good."
See, I can't do that, but like you give me one that is like nacho cheese to sour cream and onion to taco flavor. I don't know. I just can do all that, but pork rinds have a weird texture.
Mm. Are you a chips and dip person or just chips? I love queso and salsa, onion dip.
I can do both. I
Okay.
can do both depending on those. So like guacamole, if it's not like blended, down to like mush, I'm
Okay.
good. Chunky, perfect. If I could do, I have a spinach. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna have to ask this question. What is our spin dip that we get? It's a yogurt spinach dip,
Oh, you got to ask the
which
audience
has
there.
spinach, and I know, right? Like I have to ask all the questions. It's so good that I can sit down and eat the whole thing, the
Nice.
family size, in one night myself. That's dinner. It's great, great. So,
Share with
what's
us.
your favorite chip?
Uh, I like barbecue chips, and I can do tortillas with like queso, with rotel, and maybe the cheese gooped over on top. My
Oh
wife
my
makes
gosh, you
me.
like the one with the meat and the rotel and everything and the
Yeah,
cheese all in a crock pot?
yeah.
Oh,
And
thank
my
you.
wife makes
That's
a really
tomorrow.
good homemade salsa, so she'll put up everything together, make a good salsa. So yeah, I'm good with that most of the time.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need the recipe to that.
All right, I'll get it. Send recipe to Sarah for salsa.
That's right. And then send the other recipe from Sarah to you about, I don't know. I'm sure I'll tell you something that you're like, I want that.
Barbecue or
Yep, there you go.
share with us the younger
Venison.
years in which you were rocking out with pots and pans. I was reading your bio a little bit. You're in the
I
kitchen
was.
banging around. Share about that a little bit.
So when I was a child, like any child, I would pull everything out and I was crazy and I wanted to just make noise. And then my mom and her sisters and brothers really were into the Three Supremes, and the song Going to the Chapel and Getting Married really came on, and I loved it. I don't even remember this, to be honest, so it's all secondhand knowledge. And I guess I kept singing it and wanted it over and over and over again. And it was back in the day where you had to like record it on a cassette tape. So they recorded it over and over and over again. So I had a whole cassette of just that one song. And I walked around with a Fisher Price mic and the little track and, kept singing it with everyone and AKA the actual singers. But I just kept doing it. So that was the thing. And they just kept looking at me and they're like, okay, that's almost a little weird. Like, is this normal? And I guess it was normal for where I am now. So
As you got older, do you get inspiration from other musicians you heard on the radio? I mean, either country or Christian or whatever genre. You're like, ooh, I want to be a musician. As you got older, when did they really kick in for you?
So actually, the funniest story, which is probably the most I don't know, controversial story, I guess, is I actually was going pro in soccer. So I was getting a lot of looks for how I was doing as an athlete. I was getting looks at like 15, so I was young. And then finally, when I turned 18, I had some good questions. And then I got injured. And my downfall was I'm now injured and I don't know what to do with my life. But I loved music. I, was in the choir, I was in the band, so I would split my schedule throughout high school. And then I was like, well, if I can go to college and still get something of a scholarship for music and sports, I can get better and heal and all that for sports. And I never was the athlete after that. And then music kind of took over. I started understanding the difference of philosophy in music. I started understanding, what made music tick, how it came from, parallel fifths are not okay to contemporary theory and all of that. And I was like, I really like this. And then randomly throughout high school, I got published as a ninth grader on a poem. So I knew I could do some things lyrically. So it just kind of all fit in. It was like that God complex of like, you want this, it's not your thing, let's divert you over here. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, I do. And then, I got into like taking care of especially handicapped adults in college. And I was like, well, this is great. I love this. Which then turned into, do I want to do music therapy? And then there was a switch. And it was a bad breakup that made me say, if I feel this way, because I felt so alone, then someone else does. And they need to feel this too, or they need to hear that it's okay to understand, like, you're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
That's cool.
And then I moved to Nashville, also in a whim. So I don't know, it just kind of all made sense.
From Minnesota to Nashville, I'm sure it's a bit of a change.
So it was actually Minnesota to South Dakota to Nashville.
Okay.
And so city to farm town to big, small city. So it was different.
Did you
But my
acclimate?
curiosity of life kept everything going. And I knew because I give everything a good chance. So after 6 years in my college town and the breakup, and I was like, nope, I'm going to go do my own thing. And I'm stepping out and I'm going to Nashville. I've never been to Nashville. I just knew what Nashville was.
Where is Nashville?
And my dad was the logical person being like, are you sure? And I was like, nope, I'm moving to Nashville. And he's like, do you have a job? I'm going down for an interview. He's like, no, let's be smart. You're not doing that. So I got the job. He goes, you have a place to live? And I'm like, no. And he's like, what is happening? And literally the day I moved out of South Dakota was the day I got the place that I was living in Nashville.
What was the job you got? Your first job in Nashville?
So it was really funny because I actually took everything backwards. So I started as a technical advisor at Asurion. So when your phone is going down and you don't know what to do, call me because I can help you out through halfway through it, right? But but like I started over. I was an operations manager in South Dakota.
Mm.
So I had to start all the way from the beginning. The really funny part though was like salary ranges from different parts of the country
And
was
cost of
crazy.
living? Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, because in Washington State, our minimum wage up here is almost $16-17 an hour. Texas, I think, is like 8.5. But everything's expensive up here.
So I'm not gonna give you price ranges, but I'm gonna tell you. So as an operations manager, I was getting like $32,000 a year, roughly.
Okay.
And then when I came here and started over again, I was making the same.
Okay.
And that was like the difference. That's when I knew I was like, wow, that's crazy.
So when you got to Nashville,
and then,
go ahead. So when you got to Nashville and you still had that singing bug, how did you begin? Did you start finding places to sing, or how did you get your voice out there for people to recognize you and to hear you?
So I actually worked my butt off because the cost of living was the same, but the cost of living here, meaning like going out drinks, concerts, things like that, significantly higher. So I was like, okay, I'm making a good salary because that's what it was when I was there. Was not here. So I started talking with my coworkers after working just a normal day and then doing some overtime. And then I was like, this is what I really want to do. And one guy, older guy, was like, I play guitar. His name was David Hare, and he was my first guitar player. And through that, we really started working every day. I was lucky enough to decide that I was going to go into a different career path. I needed to kind of move my way back up into ops, especially ops management. So I was just like, hey, I left the company that I was working at. I moved up. And we started working every night together. And he had a very specific dream of, I have this person I can mold. And it was amazing, but it wasn't the direction I was going in. So we kind of buffed against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he has already been asked to be a part of a label. He turned it down. We had some looks at us, and I turned some things down because of his guidance. And then all of a sudden, it was like the songs came. They're not as good as the songs that you have. And I started growing. And then sadly, when I was 27, which I'm only 30 now, um, I got really sick.
I got you by a few more years. It's okay.
I got super sick, and I was in and out of the hospital for a year.
Oh, wow.
And then I realized I needed some help. My parents had a different perspective of what that help was. And I said, if I'm going to do this, which I already moved here for, I'm not moving. And I had friends that helped me. I had my dad's colleagues that helped me and everything. And they had their own vision of how helping someone that sick was and just all the things, right? And I got better. I had a hysterectomy at 27, and I detoxed from all prescription drugs, and I started singing, and that's when I got my voice.
So, how many years have you actually been singing? As you from you were getting out there till now, how many years has that been?
Are we counting college?
It's up to you.
Okay, so after me getting sick and really getting my voice, which I think is different, right? Like singing, you can sing anyone's stuff, but when
Mhm.
you get your voice, it's different. So let me do some quick math. So I am still 27, 7 years.
Okay. Do you recall the very first concert you ever attended?
I do. It was Creed. I think
Okay.
I was 12 with my best friend and her dad. Oh, wait, I mean, I was 25 because I'm still young, right?
Of course.
Uh, no, I was super young. We were kids still that we had to be accompanied, and it was Creed.
As you began pursuing your career in music, did you receive encouragement from family and friends that, hey, you sound pretty good. You sound, really like your songwriting. And when did you really click that, hey, this is what I wanted to do?
So, ooh, I think that's a hard question. So, for my friends, yes, I had a lot of encouragement. I had a lot of support. My family, who is very big in management and, need to be secure, need to be providing for a family, no matter what that is, it was questionable.
Mm.
So, the biggest moment that I can ever say was bringing my brother into an interview in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He was getting married, and we drove to this interview, and he saw me nervous for the first time. Because every time I talk about music, it's like I'm not nervous. And I drove him to that interview, and I was so nervous. He was like, "What are you doing?" Like, my hands were clenching the steering wheel and everything. And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, me doing it by myself is just, go show up and do it. I mean,
Hmm.
if it doesn't make sense, then, you kind of made a fool out of yourself. Or you didn't express your song right. Like, right? Like, we have all these things. We're judged all the time.
Hmm.
But when you bring your family into that, that's so different. And um the interviewer, his name is Scott, he actually was like, "Can I ask your brother questions?" And he asked me like privately, and I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." He is an executive, like, yes, let's put him in the hot seat. And all of a sudden it was like, "So you're getting married?" And John was like, "What?" My brother had no idea. He's like, "What are you talking about?" And John was like, he was so proud because he got questioned, but he was just coming to watch.
Hmm.
And he's like, that's really hard. So my family is a little bit more of, I'm trying to understand because we don't know it, but we really love what you're doing and we support it, but they don't understand like the time frame. Like, I can say I wrote a song today and they're like, when's it released? And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I just wrote it today. So we're going to wait like a good 6 to 7 months for that to come out. And even if it does or doesn't, right? Like,
Right.
you have your judgments of what you want to do. So it's different,
Is music your
I
full
guess.
time gig now? Or are you still working? Or
So sadly it's not. So I own my full business, plus I work full time, plus I'm a singer songwriter. I actually just partnered with an amazing individual. Her name is Amy Jo, which
Mm-hmm.
is your first question. And we are merging our businesses together to make a broader business. So that's underway. But besides that, like, money has to come in, and music is always, sadly, the thing that you have to put so much into it for
Mm-hmm.
it to give you back,
I'm with you
in
because
my opinion.
I've been podcasting for about 3 years now, and I work full time. And my wife and I own a toy store, and I'm on a radio show. I do a radio show I host on Total Mix Radio. I would do things I love to do, not because I have to do, but the things I have to do pays the bills. So I'm with you.
Yeah. So
Uh,
what did you do? What's the craziest thing you've done to pay your bills?
Work. I mean, craziest. I get sponsors for my podcast. I use that to pay bills if I have to. And I'm a dad of 4 kids, and they're all adults now. But I've done I worked 2 jobs forever. Till my kids are all out of school, and my wife could work. 4 kids is daycare is expensive, so I'm a type of dad or guy who I'd do 60 hours a week if I had to. Because not to keep the wife home, but I just felt that I was responsible for that. So I've always been working, and now I just would love doing this and meeting people around the world like you. Have you received?
How old are your kids?
They range from 30 to 21 almost. So, yeah, my oldest has 3 grandkids, 3 kids, my grandkids. But yeah, so it's to keep me hopping.
I love that.
Have you received helpful advice, encouraging words from friends or musicians that you still use today? Like maybe you collaborate with someone and they give you some input and you kind of carry that with you. Have you ever gone through something like that? Getting cool tips or advice?
So I have. The one thing that I learned when I first moved here was all you need is 3 chords and the truth. And I know that sounds really silly, but that's all you really need to write a song. Like to add in the differences of a minor 7 or an extended chord or a diminished chord or some minor influences, you still just need the thought. And all you need to do to write that song is 3 chords and the truth. Now, so let's take the 3 chords out. You just need the truth. Like, there are so many times where I've been in a writing session with anyone from people on a label to independent to, just someone that wanted to try to write a song. And a 9-year-old, right? And they're like, well, I don't know what to write about. And I'm like, what's your day like? What does it look like? If you can make that motion picture in your head and tell the truth through the whole thing, you're solid. Everything else will come. So, and then in your, melody making, all you need is 3 chords. You can change those flavors, like I said, diminished chords, suspension chords, minor 7s, major 7s, whatever you want to do. You can do all of that for whatever type of music you actually want to make. So if that comes into blues or country, pop, whatever it is, as long as you're telling the truth, you will make at least 1 fan. And if you can make 1, you're successful.
I hear congratulations are in order. I see you being accepted as a member of the Academy of Country Music.
Thank you.
What was that like, receiving that news and getting that accomplishment?
So this past year in 2023, I became a member. Sorry, I have someone walking out the house. Sorry. I CMA member, ACMs, everything. That was something when I first got sick, I never thought would happen. I just wanted to write a song. I wanted to be successful. And my level of success was having someone to relate to me. So they're not alone. So when I got that, I already was successful. Sorry, I gotta go in a room. Sorry. When that happens, dinner time, everyone's in and out.
Yep.
So after that, I never thought of anything else except for making more music and getting another fan that could relate. And then finally connected with my business partner, Amy Jo, and we started making plans. We need to elevate ourselves. And honestly, even before Amy Jo, I got into the ISSA awards.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know what any of this is. And all of a sudden I met her there and I was like, okay, what are we doing? And it was a whirlwind. And then we threw our hats in and we got it. And I was like, wait, what the hell? Oh, I'm sorry. Can I swear on this? I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I was like, what the heck? Sorry, edit that out.
You sound
I was
good.
like, what the heck? And then I was shocked. Um, I never thought I was at that level. And all I did was just keep talking the truth and like going through things and I don't know, experiencing life too, because you can't stop living at the same time because then you're not writing. So when I got the email, because it comes through email, I was like, oh my gosh. And being able to experience that with my best friend was like, holy crap. Okay, now what's next? Like we got to keep going and we can't stop the music and we got to write. And all of a sudden there was some like pressure around it. But at the
Mhm.
same time, we took the moment to celebrate. And I don't know. I think I'm still in shock. So I'm like telling you all this to be like, I'm still in shock by it.
You mentioned the ISSA, and this is kind of where you
Yes.
and I are having each other. We're both in common with this because I'm also with the ISSA, and I just got nominated for a couple of awards for my podcast and being a promoter and sharing about musicians. So I'm kind of just,
Awesome.
I'm kind of just, I'm like, I got nominated for an award. What? I'm still kind of in shock myself.
Exactly. Well, not going to lie, you are speaking to a gold winner.
Ooh, I'm
I'm
unworthy.
just saying.
I'm
So,
bowing to you.
no. That's just what we have to go to, right? Like everyone has their quirks about them. And I think the quirks is the amazing part. It's being able to do something that I can't do it. If you said, hey, Sarah, go and do a podcast, I'd be like, okay, let's talk about cooking dinner.
Like I'm grabbing Amy Joe with me.
Amy Jo is with me and we're cooking dinner and we're going to have cherry pie.
Sounds
Like,
good to me. Yeah,
I
I'll listen to it. Yeah. What's it like being part of the ISSA, and how has they helped you as a songwriter and kind of meeting people from around the world? I know the award ceremony is in August. I'm gonna try and come down to Atlanta. My wife and I love to
oh
come
no,
down.
you have to come down. So it's a thing. You have to come down. So what is it like? So when I first got into it, I called my parents and was like, I'm going up for this award and I have no idea. And I actually invited my parents down as my plus one and two, right? So mom and dad. Um, After that, so the first year that I was ever in it, I won silver for female vocalist of the year. And I was like, what? That's really weird. I never thought I'd be a vocalist. Because that was, to me, my insecurity. Then the second year that I was ever in it, I got gold for female vocalist of the year again. And I was like, what is everyone doing? They're all wrong. No, I'm just kidding. They're great. But that's the really cool thing about getting that like appreciation approach from different people that like can hear you from the industry. So what was my experience? First off, Tammany is amazing. Tammany will reach out to you. I've asked her like 150 billion questions and she has been like, here's every single answer. Or she'll tell me, hey, this is your resource. Like,
Mhm.
go here,
Yep.
ask that question there, because that's not mine. And I was like, cool. Or here's actually, I just posted about this. Go and watch this. And it's amazing. The people are there to actually support you, which is different in different award shows. I've been in some that I'm like, why am I even here? Like, I was nominated, and like I know the one person, and everyone's looking at me like I have five heads, and I'm sorry that I'm here. Like I don't know what to do. But everyone's really really nice and really supportive. I actually so I'm gonna tell you something you can't tell anyone, okay?
Okay. Shh.
Me and someone that I know, um, and some other people that I know. So like if you follow me on social media at sarahashleymusic.com or Sarah Ashley Nash on Instagram or Facebook official, like, I mean, just whatever, you'll see it. But we've been able to not only network and like build ourselves up to increase our music and our followers, but we've also been able to not only get into like the ACMs, the CMAs because of someone knowing something,
Mm-hmm.
but fingers crossed, we're hoping to hear if we are Grammy members here in a few months.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
When you get nominated for an award and you win an award and you go back and see the many hours of road trips or practices or writing songs, what sense does that give you that this was truly you're meant to do this? Your words are powerful. We'll share about some of your songs here in a second. And but what does that really mean to you when you're nominated for an award and even win an award? You take a step back, going, "I just won an award. This is crazy."
So I think you got to look at it in two different ways. One is it's an award, thank you, and I appreciate it. And that's that at that moment. The other part is the who helped me along the way.
Mm-hmm.
That could be co-writers, that could be musicians, that could be the story, the people, right, that built that for you. And even if they ended badly, like, you have to thank them for that time of your life. But when I look at it personally, the awards that I've won, which has been really funny, is something that is my insecurity. So like having vocalist of the year, for ISSA Gold, I was like, nope, that's not me. Like, I literally looked at the two girls besides me, which was Shabru and Don Ricks, and I was like, I didn't win any this year. And they were like, what are you talking about? And then all of a sudden my name was called, and Amy, like the biggest cheerleader, is in the background being like, I knew something was gonna happen. Like, what? And I was like, okay, I can get it for songwriter, but vocalist, like what? Like, or I could get it for like producing or like music video, but vocalist, huh? Like, so what your insecurity is sometimes the one thing you don't focus on so much,
Mm-hmm.
which comes out really raw and perfect.
Did you have
So
a
to me,
speech already?
I had to humble. I'm sorry, go
Okay.
ahead.
You have a speech already when you prepared just in case you won?
So if you actually go back and watch it, I did not. I cried a lot. My dad was there. My dad just turned 75, and I was like, hey, my dad's here. We're all going to sing Crazy by Patsy Cline, and we're going to celebrate, because I really did not think I was winning anything at that moment.
Mm.
And then Tammany, like, I just had to thank her so much for giving independent artists that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that moment was so different because it's not like the Grammys or the CMAs or the ACMs and everything. It's like that level into being like, this is where we are, even if you are a Grammy member or an ACM member, or you just cut your, 7th song, and everyone's there to be like, we got this against a label,
Mm-hmm.
and we can do it. And we don't have the money like labels do, but we're doing it. So our passion is a little different. And I think for me, that was the moment, especially calling her out, I think was the biggest thing. I was a really big mess. I think I actually squatted down on the stage and like cried a little bit, and then Amy had to help me up. And I just didn't think so. I didn't think it was gonna happen.
I don't cry. My eyes water. Even when I watch America's Got Talent, I hear a cool story. My eyes are watering. My wife's like, "You're crying." No, my eyes are watering. I'd be a watering eye person.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, I wasn't okay. I'm sorry. Let me fact check myself. I wasn't crying. I was bawling, and but they were watering.
That's awesome. I just find you on Instagram, and I saw you. What are some ways you wind down? Do you read? Do you do? You. I saw you some snowball fights. I saw you kind of play video games.
So remember, I don't read. Remember, that's my weakness. No. So what I do to wind down, which honestly, I don't think there is a winding down when this is like your career after your career, right?
Right.
Um, I think the best thing that I have is I have an amazing supportive relationship that can look at me and be like, you haven't eaten yet today. Like, here's some dinner. By the way, it's like 8 o'clock. Like, we need to shut off. Um, and let's watch stupid TV, whatever that is.
Okay.
And then I'm asleep in 10 minutes. Right? Because it doesn't matter. I mean, because I'm that tired. I think it is the times where it's like, hey, I see you're not doing this for you. So to help you unwind, it's like, oh, randomly there's a bath drawn. And I'm like, mm-hmm. So you say I need a shower. Got it. But long story short, like it's the daily reminders of things that I need, right? For me as a person. And that can be lunch, that could be mindless TV that I'm asleep in 10 minutes. It could be a bath, it could be a bonfire outside, it could be anything. So me and saying like, how do I wind down? I don't. I get told how to, and not in a bad way.
I saw you a
Like,
picture. I'm sure. it's in Minnesota. You're in your swimwear, drinking a mimosa in the snow with the quote, "Some beach somewhere." No Blake Shelton song.
so actually, that was at the house here in Nashville.
Okay.
After it snowed, and it was so funny. I like died laughing. It was so beautiful. Dogs have not been outside, nothing. And I was like, this is the time to really make something fun and funny. And I got the get in your swimsuit, here's the towel. And I'm like, wait, we're doing this? Like all of a sudden it wasn't even me. I was like, what? And all of a sudden it was like, do you want a wine glass? Do you want a cup? What do you want for your mimosa? And I'm like, all of a sudden I was like outside in the snow. I think I was out there for 10 minutes, not even. And but that's the support I'm talking about. Like you haven't posted yet today. It's snowing. We could lose power any second. Let's do it. So it was good.
I
And
know
then all
we're.
of a sudden it turned into a funny story of
Yeah, I
how
love the quote because it's a whole. I think it's Blake Shelton's very first song. I think "Some Beach Somewhere." It's a funny
yep.
video too. Oh my goodness. I want to share one of your songs. I know we're a little over on time, but one of your songs is called "Breaking the Habit." You mind sharing that song a little bit?
Yeah, do you want to hear about it?
Sure.
Oh, I thought we were playing it. Sorry. I'm like, oh yeah,
I'll
play
play
it
it
and
at
I'll
the
tell you
end.
about it.
Actually, when we're all done, I'll play it with the.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So breaking the habit was really cool. After 2020, I was in a really toxic relationship, and I think 2020 kind of told everyone what was going on with their relationships. People got divorced, people got married, people were like, I'm alone and this is what I want, and the whole world changed. For me, in 2020, I was in a really toxic relationship and I was like, I can't do this anymore. But if I keep doing it, I'm either breaking my heart or breaking the habit. So I called up a therapist that my friend told me about. It was her marriage counselor. And I was like, hey, my name's Sarah. And by the way, like, I don't know what to talk about except for you got to call me out on my BS. And if we don't change this, I'm either going to break my heart or I'm going to break the habit. So which one are we doing?
Mm.
And she's like, hey, I get it. I totally understand. And I was like, okay. I mean, that really didn't help me at that moment until, about 4 months in. And then I got to know a very, very good songwriter. Her name was Michelle Aspen. And I called her and I was like, hey, so yeah, I was in therapy and I, again, said the comment, I'm either going to break my heart or break the habit.
Mhm.
And she's like, hold on, break the habit. And so she did some things on her side and I went to work or therapy or something. I can't remember at this point. And then we touched base like 6 hours later and she's like, I have this idea. And then we kind of talked through it. And it's not about necessarily the relationship,
Mhm.
but it was about it could be anything, drugs, gambling, alcoholism, a relationship, everything. So we started writing it in a way that everyone could relate to.
Mhm.
And that was it. And then
What?
at the question, it was, did I go back or did I not? So
When did it really help you that you kind of gave you a release internally, going, "I'm good"?
I think it's when I could have written it, right? So if it would have been like 2019, wasn't going to happen.
Mhm.
I could have felt the same things, couldn't do it. Afterwards, within therapy, I could write it, and that was the release. It actually took me, so 2020, we're now in 2023. When I released it, now we're in 2024 talking about it. So it took
Mhm.
that amount of time
Wow.
to be able to say, out of all of the emotions, and I think it's the same for anyone, guy, girl, puppy dog passing away, like we have those feelings and sometimes you can feel them or them. You can't say them until years later.
Mhm.
So
Do you got a
break the
vision
habit.
board or a dream board with goals you want to accomplish, say in 2, 5, 10 years of where you want to be at as a musician?
So I think for me, after being sick, I don't do vision boards because anything can happen again.
Mhm.
Um, but I do have a yearly board. So this year I'm playing out more. I'm releasing new music. I'm doing a duet album with Amy Joe. I'm writing with a lot of people. We're producing a lot of people. Our business is booming. That's all I can plan out for. And then next year is going to be okay, so this already happened. Now let's add on to it. Um, in my opinion, that's how I think it should be done.
What's it like collaborating, especially with Amy Joe? You get related, and vice is collaborating with someone you really don't know, but as a musician.
So we're actually not related.
Okay, okay, okay.
Everyone thinks we are, and it's funny because we are really, really close. The really funny part is we didn't know each other at all. Our personalities just clicked. I've worked with other people before Amy Joe that we didn't click really well, found common ground. I've done some things where me and Michelle have actually been asked to come in on a label in the UK, and we're meeting someone for like the first time. We're like, okay, tell us about you. Like we don't know anything,
Right.
and we have to like build that connection really really quickly, and then 2 hours later have a song out. Um, I think it's if you have a passion about music, talk about it, share your experiences, throw everything against the wall. And if something sticks, great. If it doesn't, it's okay.
Okay.
And if you have something that's really, really important to you, don't share it. So for me, I trusted Michelle enough, I knew her long enough to say, breaking the habit. That was my title. Here's everything about it. And it's mine. It's not hers. It's not, we're going to pitch it. It's not going to sync. It's not going anywhere. That's
Mhm.
mine. And she was like, okay, let's do it. For other people going into labels and stuff like that, we've pitched a lot of things before, and it was like, we like it. It's not there. Had one more opportunity. It landed.
Hmm.
So you got to take feedback. You got to look at it like a business, but at the same time, you have to build that connection right away. Me and Amy have um, spent a lot of time with people. It's landed, hasn't, um, and that's okay because it's a two-way street. Like if you tell us we want to write a song about rainbows and sunshine, and we do that, and they want something about sesame seed oil and salt, that ain't gonna make sense, right? And I say it at the beginning of a lot of things, like what you're giving, we're gonna give back, right?
Right.
And that's it.
I haven't had Amy Jo on yet, but I got you and Amy Jo both on at the same time, and really get to know you guys more and hear about your business too, to what you guys are doing as well down the road. It'd be awesome.
Oh, you're definitely gonna laugh if you have us together. We laugh a lot. So, but yes, I will definitely tell her that she needs to join you because it's been a great time.
This podcast is all about encouraging others. About to gonna be 3 minutes, and how do you encourage others? And when you are signing autographs, and someone says, "Hey, your music really inspired me," or "Your music really, I love the words of this song or that song." What's that feel inside for you? Like warm fuzzies. Like this is kind of cool. I'm spreading encouragement, positivity to from kids to adults. What's that feel like for you?
So when someone says that to me, I actually cry in front of them, which is really like embarrassing. Because it's my story, right? But I understand that like there is a difference, and I actually pull them aside and talk to them about it because I want to know their story. So for me, I get really emotional about that. So if anyone says that, that's listening in and comes to like my show and is like, "Hey, you're gonna get some one-on-one time with me," but like for real, that's it's almost uncomfortable because it's like that's what I want, but when someone says it, it's like, wow, I did that. And that's me more than any award. That's it. Right there.
Yeah.
So when someone asks me for advice, I am going to tell you everything that I've done to hit a wall or to write a certain way. It may work for you, it might not work for you. You may not hit the same wall. But that's like the music industry right there, period. Like it just, it may work, may not. So I guess for me it's just being like that vulnerable person to be like, I'm here supporting you. I'm always a positive person. I will say out of any of my friends, my relationship, my family members, when I'm down, they know they have to fill my cup like 3 times more because I'm just trying to fill everyone.
You feel like there's a couple holes in that bucket. You keep filling it. You're not getting full. You're kind of losing, still things going on, kind of pulling you away, I'm sure.
It's that. And it's also like, sometimes you just have to be really positive and a cheerleader, and you don't have the same time to run yourself a bath, right? That we talked about earlier.
Yep.
Or make dinner. And then you're so tired and you don't realize you're depleting yourself. So for me, I know personally, I have to do better at that. Again, I'm in a really good situation, so I don't have to, but I need to. Don't say anything. But with all that, it's, I think the biggest thing I could ever give anyone is like, make sure you really do have at least one person that can tell you this is really good or that kind of was not on par.
Okay.
And then accept if you agree with that or not. Because there is a difference.
Would you mind sharing about your website? How people can check out your music? Maybe you're in concert. If you're in Washington State sometime, then we know. Let them have coffee with you. Share about your website a little bit.
Yes. So everything, literally from merchandise to shows to, if you want to email me personally, go to sarahashleymusic.com. If you want to follow me on social media, I am so much slower on social media. Go to Sarah Ashley Nash Official on Facebook and Sarah Ashley Nash on Instagram and Twitter and all of that. And honestly, get a hold of me somehow. So if you want to talk, if you want to go through something, I'm always here. I'm not responsive a lot just because I'm busy, but I will get back to you. And obviously, listen to what we're talking on right now.
Yeah.
You are going to get the latest and greatest, because I can guarantee we got some duet information coming out. We got some new singles coming out, some music videos.
Nice. You're welcome back anytime to share new songs, new videos. You want to chat about a recipe, you want to get Amy Jo on, you're welcome anytime to give me a holler and say, I got available this time. We'll get you on and just kind of share your story, what's going on. I love meeting people, just sharing this story. It's so much fun. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Take care of yourself, and I hope your dinner is not too cold, or supper is not too cold.
Oh, not at all. Microwave. We're good.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Oh, okay.
This is Sarah Ashley, Breaking the Habit.
I'm not smoking like a freight train anymore. I'm not drinking myself to death like some groupie on a 90s tour. Counting all the cards under the table, dealt the wrong hand. I knew I wasn't able, high on you. How could I be so blind? I'm either breaking my heart or breaking a habit, a comedy show with no one laughing when all things go into hell. Well, hell no thanks. Am I fighting a fight for all the wrong reasons? Celebrating life on the off season. No, it ain't my fault, but it's a fact. I'm either breaking my heart or breaking a habit. I'm not running from my problems anymore. I'm not bending over backwards, playing for keeps without a score. And I can't keep doing what I know is doing neither of us no good. Goodbye to you, I swear I lost my mind. I'm either breaking my heart or breaking a habit, a comedy show with no one laughing when all things go into hell. Well, hell no thanks. Am I fighting a fight for all the wrong reasons? Celebrating life on the off season. No, it ain't my fault, but it's a fact. And I just couldn't stop. I've been flipping and flopping, so I called you up. It was late last night, and it's always no one's home. And that's just better for me. Instead of falling back down on my knees, I'm rising like a phoenix, and baby, I stand tall. I'm either breaking my heart or breaking a habit, a comedy show with no one laughing when all things go into hell. Well, hell no thanks. Am I fighting a fight for all the wrong reasons? Celebrating life on the off season. No, it ain't my fault, but it's a fact. I'm either breaking my heart or breaking a habit. I'm either breaking my heart or breaking a habit. I'm either breaking my heart or breaking a
What are people saying about this podcast?
I love it. You guys are so great.
Thanks. We're getting a song for you lined up here in just 1 second after these commercial breaks.
Ding, ding, ding.
What do you get when you're a single mom that has a vision to a blooming full-time business? You go for it. That's what Amanda Zobrist has done. She has started the Dandelion Sticker Company. She has a knack to create almost anything. At the Dandelion Sticker Company, she can create tumblers, stickers, t-shirts, and much, much more. From little sizes to big sizes to really big sizes, she wants to make your vision a reality. Working with small businesses is her compassion in her community that allows her to make a meaningful impact on a local level. Looking for business to help you promote your business? Check out Dandelion Sticker Company. Her high-quality stickers are perfect for your products, advertising your services, and getting your business out there for the world to see. I'm so excited that the Chit Chat Encouraging One Another podcast will be working with the Dandelion Sticker Company to create merchandise to sell in the future. Please reach out and let us know what you might be interested in. Got some ideas that you want created for your business or personal use? Check out dandelionsticker.com. Dandelion Stickers is locally owned and operated in Silverdale, Washington, but you can reach her easily by emailing dandelionsticker.co@gmail.com. You can also find her on Facebook too. Make your vision a reality with the Dandelion Sticker Company today. Are you looking for some mouth-watering, delicious tasting barbecue? I've got the perfect place for you. Double D's Barbecue and Smokery. Get the best smoked brisket. Comes highly recommended. Just falls off the bone. Each meat is cooked and smoked perfectly, moist, and seasoned very well. The ribs are amazing, and they have some great sides like bacon, macaroni and cheese, and cream corn with green chilies with a little kick. Banana pudding to top it off. It's a great dessert. Being from the South, I love me some banana pudding. See, Brett and Don are locally veterans here in the area with strong military roots. They have found their home here in the Pacific Northwest, serving some amazing barbecue. Check out their website at Double D's Barbecue and Smokery LLC.com. They also cater events. They can help you for any event you may have planned. They're on Facebook as well under Double D's Barbecue and Smokery. Great tasting barbecue. Double D's Barbecue and Smokery. Delicious barbecue.
I'm working with a lot of artists and up-and-coming musicians to get on the show, and I'm working on getting here Cooper Greer on my podcast. But this is his song called Whiskey Lies.
Coming on stronger, yeah, the way you always do. When I've been on longer, yeah, you know I've been missing you. You start whispering in my ear, every little thing you know I wanna hear, but I won't fall for that this time. Don't tell me that you want me to, and that lately, baby, you've been thinking, saying I love you, just cause it's 2 a.m. You've been drinking, throwing words around that you don't mean, but we should give it one more try. So hit me, baby, one more time with your whiskey lies. You park behind my house, you don't want your friends to know what's going on. You'll tell everyone you know that too. And then lately, baby, you've been thinking, saying I love you. Just 'cause it's 2 a.m. and you've been drinking, throwing words around that you don't mean. We should give it one more try. So hit me, baby, one more time with your whiskey lies. With your whiskey lies.
That was Whiskey Lies by Cooper Greer, and it was
Awesome!
I'd like to welcome one of the newest sponsors to the podcast, Mr. Alex Pablo. He specializes in assisting small to medium-sized local family restaurants establishments and enhancing their brand, identify, and cultivate a strong business image. He provides a comprehensive support through the creation and maintenance of a professional business website, menu design, printing services, as well as implementing an effective online ordering system. His objective is to empower these businesses to flourish and achieve sustained success and increased online sales in their respective markets. Check out aldentedigitals.com for more information.
When we transported back in time to, say, the 1950s, as soon as you arrive at the Big Apple Diner, you'll be transported back in time. Their decor is amazing. Their menu is amazing too, with breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. Try something different each time you go. I've had the Penny Pincher combo, which is a combination of quarter pounder with cheese, french fries, and a milkshake or drink for $9.99. Where can you find a meal for $9.99? And they have over 30 flavors of milkshakes. You can literally have a milkshake a day and never get enough of the milkshakes, pies, and sundaes at the Big Apple Diner. Dine in or take out, so you can check them out. They're located at 6720 Kitsap Way in Bremerton, and their hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and they're closed on Mondays. Swing by and check them out. The Big Apple Diner. The website is thebigapplediner.com, or you can call and place your order today at 360-373-8342. Eat well, eat local, eat at the Big Apple Diner in Bremerton.
our next song we're playing is by Thomas Cavanaugh, called This Town.
Nothing prepares you for this moment. You'll only worry if you try. It happens when you least expect it. It stops my heart to say you're mine. So let's just stay here in this town. Fly houses downtown. You're the only one that brings me to life. So don't be scared, I'm just the same. Take my hand and lead the way. Through the darkest nights, I know you'll shine through. 'Cause it's always been you. Some people judge their lives on others. Some always only live a lie. But I know what I am seeing. You're the one that I've been dreaming of. If I say I do, I know it's the truth. So let's just stay here in this town. Fly houses downtown. You're the only one that brings me to life. So don't be scared, I'm just the same. Take my hand and lead the way.
brings me to life. So let's just stay here in this town. 5 houses in town. You're the only one that brings me to life. So don't be scared, I'm just the same. Take my hand and lead the way. Through the darkest nights, I know you'll shine through. 'Cause it's always been you.
Thomas Cavanaugh in this town.
This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one other podcast. It's always about encouraging others.
Thank you so much for joining the Chit Chat Encouraging One on Podcast with my guest host, Sarah Ashley. We had a great time. We could talk for hours. A lot of fun talking with her. I'm sharing one of her songs as well. And also sharing songs by Night Owl Country Band, Cooper Greer, and Thomas Cavanaugh. Thank you very much when you share your music here on Chit Chat, the encouraging one on the podcast. Please reach out to us every Wednesday. Brand new episodes coming your way, brand new guests, fun conversations, and rocking music here on Chit Chat. Please subscribe and follow the podcast. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and where you find your podcast. What a great time today. This is Chit Chat, the encouraging one-hour podcast. It's always about encouraging others. Until next time, keep on rocking out. Great tunes, great artists. Go back and listen to other episodes from the Chit Chat podcast. See you back here next Wednesday with a brand new episode of Chit Chat.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.